Hashtag Ancient America. Did you know? Thinking Face. Hashtag Ancient Moors of Peru. Hashtag Ancient Moorish History. Hashtag More History. Hashtag More to Know History. Hashtag Ancient Fezzes. Hashtag Ancient Turbans. Hashtag Moors of Easter Island. Pukao, the headdresses, crown, of the moai. The Pukao were large cylinders made of volcanic red scoria that adorned the heads of the Easter Island statues. Discover its history. Pukao with petroglyphs at Ahu Akahanga. The Pukao is an ornament, made of red scoria from the crater of Puna Pau, which was placed on the head of the statues of the most important ceremonial platforms of Easter Island. Several archaeological studies indicate that the Pukao's manufacturing occurred in times after the elaboration of the large statues. Some even suggest that the extraction works in Puna Pau began when the Rano Raraku quarries had already been abandoned. In comparison with the almost 1,000 counted statues, only about 100 Pukao have been located, 70 of them shot down in the vicinity of the Ahu and another 30 still lying in the Puna Pau quarry. It is possible that there are more pieces buried below the roads or incorporated as recycled construction material to the ceremonial platforms themselves, so it is difficult to define the total number of Pukao that were carved. Detail of some Pukao and red scoria outcrops in the crater of Puna Pau. Puna Pau is a small extinct volcano, located about 7 kilometers northeast of Hongaroa, whose name refers to a source or well of water that should have existed in its surroundings. This crater is part of a set of parasitic cones that emerged during the eruptions of Maunga Tarabaka, the youngest and highest volcano on Easter Island. Inside the Puna Pau crater there is a quarry of red scoria that was once an important source of raw material for the islanders. The red scum or hani, as it is known in the Rapanui language, is a type of volcanic ash of great porosity and scarce hardness, which shows a reddish color due to the iron oxide found in its composition. The characteristics of this soft and easy-to-cut material, which made it unusable for construction, were valid enough to manufacture various types of objects, some very special. Among them there are about 20 statues of small size, containers for water, called tahita, blocks of ornamental type, and moai eyes. Although there are other deposits of red scum on the island, the Puna Pau quarry was the most important of all, and is believed to be the origin of most of the known objects carved in hani. This relevance may possibly be due to the strong reddish color of its material, since in Rapanui culture color red is a symbolic color associated with sacred rites and mana or spiritual strength. Like the southern slope of the Rano Raraku volcano was the origin of most of the statues of the island, it is thought that a third of the crater of Puna Pau was used to manufacture all Pukao. It is also believed that different work teams were formed that competed to have their own production areas in the quarry. However, unlike Rano Raraku, it seems that Puna Pau was considered a secret and sacred place. Its hidden location from other parts of the island, an almost silent production, to be made inside the crater, and a red color especially valued contributed to its isolation and mysticism. Related to, from 1774 to 2024, it has been 250 years. Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught us that on September 5, 1774 and on October 26, 1774, a convention was held in Philadelphia. Currently historians called that convention the First Continental Congress. However, the conveners called it the Odd Fellows Convention. Our esteemed Moorish scholar Sheikh Azim Hopkins Bey reports from his great work, What Your History Books Failed to Tell You, I quote, on George Washington's, September 5, 1774, comment stated, if we agree to take the fezzes and the turbans off the Moors' heads and remove the sandals from their feet and enforce it with severe punishments, and to also swear a death oath between ourselves to religiously, and faithfully not to allow anyone to teach the Moorish children whom they really were or who their forefathers were. And only allow the Moorish children to be taught that they were truly Negroes, black people, and colored folks. George Washington stated that 250 years ago, being 1774, the Moorish people would not know their nationality nor the name of their forefathers. Also, they would not know from which land or ancestors that they are descended from. Things that make you go History lessons that's not taught in school. Things that make you question everything. Exploding head.